Calcium channel blockers are a type of antihypertensives that lower the blood pressure through preventing calcium from entering the cells of the cardiac and the arteries. The calcium itself causes the heart and arteries to contract more strongly, and by blocking this calcium, the calcium channel blockers allow the blood vessels to relax and to dilate. Some calcium channel blockers have an added benefit or advantage of slowing your heart rate, which can further lower your blood pressure, relieve what we call angina, and be used to control arrhythmias or irregular heartbeat. The calcium channel blockers are also called calcium antagonists. Calcium channel blockers are available in two forms, the short-acting and long-acting forms. The long-acting medications work quickly, but their effect lasts only a few hours. And on the other hand, long-acting calcium channel blockers are slowly released to the bloodstream to provide a longer-lasting effect. As a brief overview, the calcium channel blockers work by inhibiting the movement of calcium through binding of the L-type calcium channel receptors. We have two types of calcium channel blockers, the dihydropyridines and non-dihydropyridines. Dihydropyridine calcium channel blockers include drugs such as nifedipine and amlodipine. This type of drugs bind to the L-type calcium channel on the smooth muscle cells of the peripheral arterial vasculature. And this binding decreases the contraction of the vascular smooth muscle cells, which decreases the vasotones, and the total peripheral resistance reduces, as well as reducing the afterload and eventually decreasing the blood pressure. The other type of calcium channel blockers, which are known as non-dihydropyridine, include Diltiazem and Verapamil. This type of drugs bind to the L-type calcium channel blockers in the cardiac muscles or the heart muscles, decreasing the contraction of the cardiac muscle itself. They as well bind to the L-type calcium channels on the sinoatrial node and the atrioventricular node cells. This binding decreases the heart rate, decreases the conduction rate between the atria and the ventricles, and eventually decreasing the cardiac muscle oxygen demand and cardiac output, reducing the blood pressure as well as reducing the appearance of arrhythmias. Calcium ions are necessary for conduction of electrical impulses in the heart. It is important for muscular contraction itself, and since the arterial blood vessels have a muscular layer, the entry of this calcium leads to vasoconstriction. The calcium channel blockers work by blocking the entry of calcium to the cells, leading to the development of three effects: the decreasing cardiac, sinoatrial and atrioventricular conduction, which is useful for the management of arrhythmias. As well, they decrease the force of contraction of the heart, what we call negative inotropy, and this decreases the demand of oxygen by the myocardial cells, helping in the treatment of angina. And lastly, calcium channel blockers dilate the arteries, leading to a decreased blood pressure, increased oxygen delivery to the tissues, and as well a decreased workload of the heart. Examples of calcium channel blockers include amlodipine, diltiazem, felodipine, isradipine, nicardipine, nifedipine, nisolpine, and verapamil. In summary, the calcium channel blockers are used in the treatment of cerebral vasospasms, hypertension, angina pectoris, supraventricular tachyarrhythmias, which are a type of irregular heartbeat, migraine, and atrial fibrillation, as well as atrial flutter. You can remember these indications by the use of the mnemonic CHASMA. Let us start by looking at the specific pharmacology of the examples of calcium channel blockers. Starting with verapamil. Verapamil works by inhibiting calcium influx, preventing the contraction of the vascular smooth muscles, causing a relaxation or a dilation of the blood vessels throughout the peripheral circulation. This effect lowers the systemic vascular resistance and therefore lowers the blood pressure. A reduction in the vascular resistance reduces the force at which the heart must push for it to pump blood to the tissues, decreasing the myocardial energy consumption and eventually reducing the oxygen requirements, therefore alleviating angina pectoris or chest pain. The electroactivity throughout the atrioventricular node is responsible for the determination of the heart rate, and this activity is dependent upon the calcium influx through the so-called L-type calcium channels. Therefore, by inhibiting these L-type calcium channels and decreasing the influx of calcium into the cells, Verapamil prolongs the refractory period of the atrioventricular node, and with this prolongation, we slow the conduction. A slowing in the conduction through the atrioventricular node slows and controls the heart rate in patients who have arrhythmias. Verapamil is used in the treatment of high blood pressure or hypertension, in the management of angina, cerebral vasospasms, and in the treatment of cluster headache. Diltiazem hydrochloride is another form of calcium channel blocker. Diltiazem works by inhibiting the inflow of calcium ions into the cardiac smooth muscles during the depolarization period. A reduced intracellular calcium concentrations equate to an increased smooth muscle relaxation, therefore resulting in arterial vasodilation and decreased blood pressure. Diltiazem is a potent coronary artery vasodilator and is used for the treatment of chronic angina and in patients with coronary vasospasm. It is as well used in the treatment of hypertension, angina pectoris, and abnormal heart rhythms or arrhythmias. The next example of calcium channel blocker that is commonly used is nifedipine. Nifedipine works by blocking the voltage-gated L-type calcium channels in the vascular smooth muscles and in the myocardial cells. This blockade prevents the entry of calcium ions into the cells during the repolarization period, reducing the peripheral arteriovascular resistance and dilating the coronary arteries. By these actions, there is a reduction in blood pressure and an increase in the supply of oxygen into the heart, relieving angina pectoris. Nifedipine is used in the management of hypertension and it has no any antiarrhythmic activity. This nifedipine can be used in the prevention of some types of angina pectoris. Another example of a calcium channel blocker is amlodipine. Amlodipine is an angioselective calcium channel blocker and works by inhibiting the movement of calcium ions into the vascular smooth muscles and the cardiac muscle cells, which inhibits the contraction of the cardiac muscle and the vascular smooth muscle cells. This amlodipine is therefore used in the treatment of angina and other conditions which are caused by the coronary artery disease. It is as well used in the treatment of hypertension. Felodipine is another example of calcium channel blocker. Felodipine acts primarily on the vascular smooth muscle cells through the stabilizing of the voltage-gated L-type calcium channels in their inactive conformation. By inhibiting the influx of calcium into the smooth muscle cells, felodipine prevents calcium-dependent myocyte contraction and vasoconstriction. Therefore, it is used in the treatment of hypertension and stable angina. It should not be used for people who are pregnant or those who have an acute heart failure and those patients with a heart attack or the ones with obstructive heart valves and any other obstructions which block blood flow out of the heart. Another example is nicardipine. Nicardipine hydrochloride is a calcium entry blocker which inhibits the transmembrane influx of calcium ions into the cardiac muscles and the smooth muscles without changing any serum calcium concentration. The contractile process of the cardiac muscle and vascular smooth muscles are usually dependent upon the movement of extracellular calcium ions into these cardiac muscles and the vascular muscle cells through specific ion channels. The effects of nicardipine are more selective to the vascular smooth muscles than they are into the cardiac muscles. And this drug is used in the treatment of hypertension and angina pectoris. Nimodipine is another type of calcium channel blocker. During the depolarization of the smooth muscle cells in the blood vessels, there is usually an influx of calcium ions. The primary function of this nimodipine is to block the voltage-gated L-type calcium channels in their inactive conformation, avoiding this influx and preventing vasoconstriction. It usually has a preference to act on the cerebral blood vessels since it is lipophilic in nature and it can close the blood-brain barrier. With this characteristic, we use nimodipine in the management of subarachnoid hemorrhage. And remember, normally the body responds to bleeding by narrowing the blood vessels to slow the blood flow. But with nimodipine is thought to work by relaxing the narrowed blood vessels in the brain near the area of the bleeding so that blood can flow more easily to the affected brain tissue. The common side effects that we're going to realize are flushing, headache, edema, and reflex tachycardias. The grape juice may elevate levels of some of these calcium channel blockers, and it is advised that patients should consume 2 hours before or after the drug. For people of African descent and the elderly population, calcium channel blockers are more effective compared to other classes of antihypertensives in the management of hypertension. Amlodipine has a little effect on the heart rate and the cardiac contraction. They are therefore safer in the presence of congestive heart failure or bradycardia. Verapamil and Diltiazem have the greatest effect on the heart, and they can reduce the force of cardiac contraction, and they are ideal to treat tachycardias. And lastly, calcium channel blockers are also prescribed to prevent migraine attacks.